There we go. Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily. Sometimes during the day, sometimes here and there, sometimes we do this show because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else. Bitcoin is down 0.29%, 0.31, it's actually increasing, 0.32%. It's still a little bit in red, as you can see here, getting rejected from this 50 moving average on the daily time frame, and it's still pulling back towards downside over here. You'll see over here a little bit earlier, a couple of days ago or 1 day ago, we had this very nice movement towards upside up here. We had this exhaustion pattern towards upside, broke that, got rejected, pulled back, right now sitting on a 50 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame. But you know, these are the small time frames. We also we'll check out what's happening on the small time frames, but more importantly is you know, what's happening on the daily, on the weekly time frame, because you see over here also on the weekly time frame we are pulling back, but we are still above the 20 moving average. But we are definitely getting rejected by, not definitely, but you know, so far we are getting rejected by the 10 moving average on the weekly time frame. Still got 4 days and 15 hours left for this to play out, so we're gonna check that out. Still in the channel, nothing is actually changed there. Over here we still, you know, trending towards downside, so there are no big movements coming yet. If you want to have some kind of big dump, you know, to 30k or something like that, not quite yet. But short term up here we are coming back to the support level down here, around give or take around 61k levels over here, because we had these, you know, nice bottoms over here. So we are coming back down there. We have already been down in the liquidity zone, so we're gonna check it out if there's a probability to get back inside that liquidity zone again, and so forth, so forth. I have not been following the chart of the Ethereum, so we might look at, you know, clean up a little bit lines and look at a little bit what's happening with Ethereum. We're also gonna check out what's happening with Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, and that is that. There is nice chart in Nvidia. I saw somebody talking about Nvidia yesterday, and this was on the weekly time frame. Yeah, this was on the weekly time frame. Was this the one? Yeah, that's the one over here. So we're gonna check out what's happening with Nvidia, because Nvidia is, you know, a leader in the tech sector, in the stock market. So if, you know, Nvidia, you know, has a chance to pull back, we just might see some pullback on our coins as well. How's everybody doing, chat? Hope you're doing well. Bridge Cable, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Good morning. What's up? The beauty's in the chat. What's your opinion? Also already at support mostly. Will they continue down? I think there is a good chance for that. I don't think that it continue down, but there might be a spring towards downside. So I'm looking for that spring. If that spring happens, you know, we good. If it just bleeds slowly, that's bad. So there is that. Now, we are not going to keep you too long over here, because this is going to be quick and dirty, and we're going to check out what's happening. So over here, we're going to start Bitcoin, and Bitcoin up here is still in this, you know, bigger channel towards downside. And it's still pulling towards downside. It's still pulling towards downside over here. We came to this resistance level over here. We failed to break the channel. Right now we're still pulling back. We are looking at this right now midline over here in the channel, give or take 60.5, give or take, to hold us. But there are no, you know, nothing is broken on the big time frames. We don't have any kind of breakdowns on major support levels or anything like that, so everything looks fine. We're just channeling towards downside. Unfortunately, small time frames we did break towards downside over here, like we said in the start of the video. This is a big impulsive move towards upside. We had extortion pattern up here towards upside, broke that, retested, broke the support, consolidating, and I think it's gonna go a little bit more towards downside. How much more towards downside depends, you know, when it's going to be 16.5, when it's going to retest the liquidity zone up here and bounce. I think, you know, this move towards downside might actually happen, because over here it's broken up here, it's trying to get up. It doesn't look that weak, but it's still pulling down. Now this pullback might stop over here, might stop over here. I think it will eventually, you know, reverse and go towards upside. How long this is going to take, that kind of depends. Over here you'll see right now we're holding 10 moving average, but we're getting rejected by the 50 moving average on the daily time frame over here. So we are pulling a little bit back again. Still no problem with Bitcoin. It's still just, you know, channeling towards downside over here, and we are looking for this curvature up here to happen. So maybe we are doing this, you know, inverse head and shoulders pattern over here right now, and you know, I think a lot of people might actually be looking at that. I'm a little bit unsure about that, but you know, if it does do that, and and it starts breaking this line up here, that's going to be channel line up here, we might see bigger moves towards the upside. Oftentimes I will be saying that this is a inverse head and shoulders pattern in the making. If this move started up here, something like this, if this was a bigger starter move inside into this inverse head and shoulders pattern, but over here it just looks like you know, it just channeling. So you know, just these three buttons up here, sorry, these three buttons up here, you know, technically it can be inverse head and shoulders pattern, but you know, I'm a little bit, you know, 50-50 on that one. That said, weekly time frame, you know, not much optimism there just yet. Let me see up here some other chart that's actually clean. This chart up here, not much optimism up here. These candles up here all the way towards the downside have been, you know, a little bit bearish. We pulled back big time towards the upside up here above, you know, after bouncing on the 20 moving average in the weekly time frame. Unfortunately, we are not getting even close to resistance level up here on the weekly. That's a 67.2, or even trying to break. So we are still pulling back towards the downside up here. I think still gonna go a little bit towards the downside, maybe some consolidation here before we actually break this towards the upside eventually. But there are no major levels that are being broken just yet, and everything looks nice. Now there is a line that that we did break, and you know, we should have become bullish up here. You'll see up here that this is the line, give or take. And oftentimes I say, once you actually break the line and you don't actually pump towards upside, this is actually very bad. So the way I see it over here, the fact that we are not pumping up here, it looks like it's gonna pull back towards the downside. So I'm still looking at lower levels down here. The question is how low we're gonna go. Big bad moves are gonna happen if we break the previous support level of 58k, and if you I think, you know, there is a very good chance to go down all the way down to 32k, and the 32k is the level on the liquidity zone down here, 52 levels towards downside. But you know, before we actually can get all the way down to 53, we need to break the midline over here. We have to go down here, and then you have to break down, you know, so a whole bunch of stuff needs to happen before that actually happens. So I don't see that just, you know, a big dump or anything like that towards the downside. Anyways, it looks okay, but you know, pullbacks are pullbacks, so we are pulling back still, and you know, it's just one of these, you know, boring times in the market where nothing is happening. Bitcoin dominance, unfortunately, it's not breaking down just yet on the daily time frame over here. We did break down a little bit. We did see some weakness on the dominance over here on the move, but right now it did came right back inside this channel, and right now it looks like it wants to go higher. So Bitcoin dominance still looks like it wants to go again higher up here towards the upside. Is it going to come up here to 60%, where Benjamin Cohen has been saying that, you know, that's the target for Bitcoin dominance, or is we gonna again tap the 57, 58 levels and then bounce towards the upside, or is this, you know, rally towards the upside when it comes to Bitcoin dominance break? A little bit unsure about that, but I'm still looking at this, you know, weekly time frame up here, and I'm still looking at the breakdown. So until we have any kind of breakdown, there is a very good chance this actually might again tap the 57, 58% dominance. Now when talking about dominance, you have to understand, just because dominance goes up does not mean that the altcoins goes down. Bitcoin can go both up and down, and the dominance can still, you know, go towards the upside. That said, best case scenario would be if Bitcoin, you know, pumps and dominance goes up to 57.8, and then after altcoins, we have some kind of altcoin rally from the tops all the way into the bottoms. So, but altcoin season happening after we break this towards downside, we still haven't done that. So, you know, we just kind of waiting. Just we are a little bit, you know, of a limbo right now, and just kind of waiting. You'll see over here on Ethereum Bitcoin chart as well that. Over here, Ethereum did break the support level, you know, failed to break back inside that. Right now, coming back down support. If he breaks that, we might see another move down here on Ethereum. So Ethereum does look a little bit weak, still failing to break the resistance level. You know, did break the support, failed to break the resistance level. Right now, the next support level is just over here. So yeah, can it do this double bottom up here, break towards the upside, or is it gonna break the support over here and go even lower than that, and then, you know, we get some kind of altcoins rally? It does look worse. So Bitcoin is still the king, unfortunately, for all the altcoin holders. Ethereum is not doing that well. And you see right now that Ethereum is come down something like 30% from the tops up here. It's trying to hold this 30k level right now over here. Let me just remove a little bit of these lines that we had from before, because these are old lines. It's been a while since we looked at. I don't think we need these as well. These are just channels. There we go. So over here there has been a couple of blue boxes up here that are very important level of resistance. We came above that, failed to break in, go higher than that, pull back below the support level over here, retest, and right now we're going into this next blue box. So the way I see it, 2.6, 2.7k. Up here 2.6 all the way up to 2.7k, major levels of support, it is trying to hold these levels, but it is still getting pulled down, and there is this bigger trend over here still going towards the downside. So just like Bitcoin over here, there is definitely some kind of channel over here when it comes to Ethereum. Something like this up here is still just trending towards the downside. We still haven't broken major level of support or broken major level of resistance yet towards the upside. So there are no movements, no big movements are happening to neither side, neither with Bitcoin or Ethereum, but we are still waiting for that. So we are still just trending towards the downside, and not much is actually happening. But I thought I should update you on the non-relevant stuff. So there is that. Another thing that Nvidia, another thing that I actually thought was interesting was this chart. Nvidia, do we have another chart of Nvidia? Yeah, I think there was this guy that posted Nvidia chart, and I saw this, this shooting star over here. But his chart, but this, maybe that was a little bit, a while ago. So this actually looks very, very bad. So oftentimes when you have a big full candle like over here, and then you get some kind of doji at the top, oftentimes this pulls back, right? So we had this big full candle that did not break the resistance level, tried up here, still didn't break the resistance level, doji at the top. Right now it is breaking, but if it starts going towards downside up here, we might see a bigger dump towards downside and continuation over here. That might indicate bigger dump when it comes to tech sector, because if Nvidia goes down, I think a lot of other tech stocks might go down. I'm a little bit unsure how much Bitcoin and crypto is related to the tech stocks in the stock market, but if that's something that you're looking at right now, it could pull back. It could pull back over here. Best case scenario is that we get a green candle up here. Now there is still the 2 days left. 2 days and 11 hours left on the weekly time frame on Nvidia up here. So the best case scenario is this becomes green and continues towards upside above the resistance level. But I'm not really optimistic when it comes to this part over here. So there is that. Any questions, guys? If you had $100, what coin would you buy? I don't know. Local new moon. How are the moons working for us, guys? How are the moons working for us? Let's check it out. Let's go to the daily time frame up here. Well, we had a new moon up here, pushed us down. We had a full moon, pushed us up. We had a new moon, pushed us down. We had a full moon, is still pushing us down over here. Maybe, it's gonna come, but I think the new moon is gonna come today or very, very soon over here. So it might push us even more towards the downside. New moons are not good. Full moons are very good. If you hold 58.3 or so, it looks good. I mean, it does look good, like 58 point something up here. I mean, these lows down here, if you hold that, it does look good. But it depends where we hold. And oftentimes we say, we always say, once we start going towards downside, towards support, we don't actually know where the support is going to hold or not. What we do know is when we hit the support level, we're going to figure it out. Weekly move down still looks corrective after impulse 2. What's your thought on a monthly bearish engulfing candle? Yeah, the monthly bearish engulfing candle is not actually that significant, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me go over here. I mean, it is bad, of course, because it's it is monthly bearish engulfing candle. Let me just show you over here. This is a weekly support level. This is daily, and then we got a monthly blue box, and we came into the monthly blue box, but we didn't break this 58k level towards downside up here on the monthly yet, right? So that's very, very good. But let me show you something else. So this is the bearish engulfing candle over here. bearish engulfing candle towards downside. It did, you know, it is very, very bad, but right now we're just holding. We still got 23 days left to see how the next candle is gonna go. But here is the thing about the candles over here, and I'm gonna show you with the moving averages. Oftentimes the bearish engulfing candle is actually extremely bad if it gets above the moving average. So if you have some kind of moving average, it goes something like this over here, and then you have it goes something like this over here, and then you got a bearish engulfing candle below that moving average. That's very, very bad. This over here is just pullback because we are very extended, so you know, it is a little bit bad. But you know, the 10 moving average is still sitting at 46k over here towards downside, so there is no problem just yet. But this is very, very bad candle, right? But not that bad, not that bad. Let me find an example up here on the monthly time frame, maybe. Over here you'll see, for example, we had this, you know, bullish engulf, it's not bullish engulfing candle, but it's a bullish candle above the moving average, which is actually very, very bullish. Other times, over here there was no bearish engulfing candle, but and we are above the moving average, and then we had this doji up here. Now this candle up here was bad because this moved below the 10 moving average towards downside over here. Let me find better example. Here, do we have any kind of bearish engulfing candle anywhere over here on the monthly time frame? So over here, here is a very good example of what's happening right now. So over here you gotta move outside of the accumulation zone, and then you have the bearish engulfing candle over here, right over here. But this bearish engulfing candle didn't break the moving averages. Oftentimes, if these bearish engulfing candles do break the moving averages, that's actually very, very bad. But this just pulled back, and then you had a bullish engulfing candle and continued towards upside. So just because you have a bearish engulfing candle in itself does not mean it's bearish. Over here, we had a 3 large move towards upside from the bottom, 4 large moves from the bottom towards upside. How much was that over here? 124% after 3-4 months. Then it had a major pullback right back up there and just continued towards upside, right? Will that happen again? We still got 23 days left, so you know, never say never. 23 days is a long time to do. How big move do we have to do? We have to do a 17% move in 23 days to get a bullish engulfing candle towards upside again. No need for analysis, we know the moves. Anyways, guys, with that bearish engulfing candle, I'm gonna leave you with that, and you know, have a nice day. I got stuff to do, so you know, I'll see you around, and it's been enjoyable. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Yo, Venus Goblin.